Okay, now to get to this stage you should have watched videos part 1 and part 2. So in this one, in part 3, we're looking at how to add more events that are going to happen within our game. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a live system. So let's say lives equals, let's say 6. So let's say user lives. Now what we're going to do is it's very simple to replace this. We don't have to change a lot of our code at all. What we can do is get rid of this while, and what we do is while lives, and we're going to use that greater than symbol again. So while lives is bigger than, let's say, 0, it's going to continue our game. So it means that our lives are going to keep going. Now if I just ran this as it is actually going to keep going forever, because there is no way that the lives are going down. So to stop that, what we're going to do is we're going to put basically as each round finishes, it's going to take off 1 life. So what we do is we can do once they've done this, okay, so once they've guessed, we want it to basically take off a life. So let's say lives equals lives minus 1. So what we're telling the program to do here is we're saying take lives and then minus 1 from the lives. So we should be on 5 lives, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we should have no lives left. So what's happened there is we've got absolutely no lives, so we've run out of lives, but there's nothing that happens there. Now, remembering how Python reads information, it reads down and then reads across. So it reads across these lines, so that's why we tab out, because it will read this. Now once it reaches the end of this, it returns the cursor, so this flashing bit here, the cursor, back to the left side of the screen. So it goes to line 24, and we'll see that there's nothing there. But if we put print here, so sorry you have lost all your lives. If we do that, it then means that if you run out of all the lives, so let's just do this quickly until we run out of lives. Okay, so sorry you have lost all your lives. So the game ends. So the way we can work that is it means that as we're going through, there are a certain amount of lives. But as this works its way down, okay, so what we want is lives equals lives minus 1. And then here we're going to do a print function. So let's print, let's just do remaining lives. Now don't forget that you can add a bit more character to your print functions by having extra symbols that will appear with them. And then I could print, let's print lives, like so, and then print I could put something like new round, like so. So that will appear as we go through. So let's do 90. So your guess is too high, then you've got remaining lives, and then it says new round. So you can see that it splits the information a bit. Now again, you can put a print function that just has the 2 speech marks, and what that does is that adds an empty space for you. So if I did 98 for example, you then get this, remaining lives, and then you get a space. So you can add these to add more space in your coding, and you can add them all the way through if you want to. And what this does is just breaks it up a little bit and gives lines between the information so that you can kind of see things better, you can read the information better, and that's just something that makes it a bit better for your user to read it. So it's a better user experience. Now we've got our lives, we've got our while function, and then it loops through until the user runs out of lives. Now you could always have some extra bits at the top here, so we could have an actual variable here that sets the lives. So we could say that lives, it might say 6. So let's say lives equals, say, equals input from the user. So how many lives would you like? So you ask them how many lives they'd like, and then lives is equal to that number. So we're going to put an int here. And again, we could have a while here. So we could have a while true. So if you do while true, and what this allows us to do is go through and try to get this information to enter correctly. Now this is a bit more advanced, but this is like data validation. So this is checking that the user's information that they enter is a valid number or a valid value, and if it's not valid, then the whole program will just allow you to repeat it rather than crashing, because a lot of programs have this built into them, because you don't want someone being able to enter information that isn't valid, because it could crash a whole program. So we're going to do except here and print please sure enter a number. Okay, so what we'll do is it will go through, and how many lives would you like? Well, let's say 9. Now notice that what it's doing is it's repeating, and it will just repeat forever because this is always true. So what we can do here is you can just simply put break. And what break does is it breaks the loop. So if it goes down this one, so if try is correct, so this is true and this works, then it will allow it to continue. If there's an error, then it does the except. So let's try that and see what happens. So now it's worked, and try and guess the number. So it's moved on. Let's see what happens if we enter something invalid. So, okay, please make sure that you enter a number, for example 6. So it's allowing us to enter our lives. So it allows the user to choose what they are doing. Okay, so it means that they can then enter the information in there. Now have a go and see if you can create this using your own coding. Again, please follow the videos, make sure that you are reading through the information and checking them, because there might be some things that you have missed, so make sure that you are writing it in the same kind of way. Of course you can use different variables, you could use different phrasings, make it a bit more exciting for the user to really enjoy the game.